Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the BoreDraw podcast, episode number 81. And it was a smaller weekend of football, like last weekend.
We're still stuck in that weird little Christmas break or winter break.
Yeah, is usually a time of beautiful football, lots of transfer rumours. It's all going on. It's all kicking off in the new year. This year's been dry.
Stanking.
AFCON has been dry. There's been half the Premier League games. The FA Cup's been kind of dry. The transfer window is the Sahara Desert, mate. It's dry as can be.
We were going to do a little transfer roundup. There's been to a roundup.
Maybe it'd be a TikTok.
Yeah,
too short for TikTok. I don't know. But yeah, it's been a bit dry. However, this weekend's games did prove fruitful with quite the amount of goals. We had Arsenal putting 5 past Palace, Liverpool putting 4 past Bournemouth. At top of the table, shaping up nicely. Let's
talk about Arsenal first. The boys pumping Crystal Palace 5-0. Are Crystal Palace currently the worst team in the Premier League? One to ponder. Let's talk more about Palace, because Arsenal, I think that's good. They had their winter break. They got back to business. Nice little 5-0 win.
It's a nice way to sort of rectify what's been said about you. Unable to put it in the back of the net by putting 5 past Palace. 2 of them came the dying embers of the game.
Martinelli getting
Thierry Henry-esque,
stat
I believe.
padding. I love to see it.
But maybe that's what you need to sort of like get that confidence going again. But yeah, it was a much better performance from Arsenal. Crystal Palace, we saw banners unveiled at the Emirates.
You got a feel for Roy Hodgson. Like, the guy's like 95 years old.
You know the clip of him as England manager? He's like... That's like, that breaks my heart every time. I love Roy Hodgson.
Yeah, he's a bit of a cult hero, isn't he?
I feel like Palace have done him dirty by keeping him on this season. He came in after Vieira left last season, and absolutely the definition of stabilise the boat.
Turned it around. Eze wasn't playing. He got Eze back in that team and got Eze firing, got them scoring goals. I think there was a period of 3 games for Palace where they didn't have a shot on target. Under Vieira, which is not good. So yeah, he came back in, steadied the boat, stopped the rut.
And then we said this about Bournemouth. We applauded Bournemouth for not sticking to their laurels and sticking with what they know and being adventurous and taking a little bit of a risk. And getting exciting, progressive manager in. Palace done the opposite. They gave it to Roy, which he deserved, but it wasn't the right decision.
Yeah.
There were managers on the market.
There was.
We've seen their greatest rivals, Brighton's ex-manager Graham Potter, on the market.
Still on the market.
They could have taken Gary O'Neill after Bournemouth.
Facts.
Got rid of him. And look abroad, man. There's plenty of managers out there who would be able to do something with this Crystal Palace team. Are they just a little bit too scared, a little bit too safe? Are they happy with the status quo of just being a mid-table, sometimes drawn into a relegation battle team?
Yeah, I think I said this on Twitter. It's years of uninspiring choices, uninspiring, and that's what the banner says. Weak decisions taking us backwards, and that is it. That is it to a T. Steve Parish, the chairman of Crystal Palace. It's just a lot of kind of safe choices. Bringing Hodgson back, safe. I don't know. Not making any like adventurous kind of signings on the market. I know they tied Elise down to a big deal, but like they're not really splashing the cash. They got Zaha off the wage bill. There's money there, but they never really go beyond their means. And I think when you're in a league where you got likes of Nottingham Forest, highest spenders last summer in the league, you've got Bournemouth recently taken over, big spenders now. If you rest on your laurels in this league, mate, you're going to get eaten alive.
Yeah, 100%. The only thing I can say, which is that the grass isn't always greener. Steve Parish has got right there a sustainable football club.
Yep. One of the best academies in the league.
Oh yeah, and they've had however many years, like a decade of Premier League football now. And you're looking at clubs like Everton, who might be getting another point deduction.
Nottingham Forest, who I mentioned, might be getting
Nottingham Forest.
Yep.
Come up, they splashed the cash, but now could be seeing themselves down to the Championship via a point deduction. You're seeing clubs in lower leagues lose their clubs. Like, this is an uncertain time for football.
Yeah.
Money comes and money goes, but football clubs should stay.
You're spitting.
And it's all well and good, and I understand the position of the fans of Crystal Palace, because it must be boring to be mid-table in the Premier League season after season and not really seeing that progress. And you always want your club to progress.
Yeah.
But we mustn't forget what can happen.
Yeah.
With undue ambition, you can very quickly see yourselves dissolved as a football club.
Yeah, you don't want to bite off more than you can chew. But I saw a funny TikTok by, I think his handle is Talk CPFC, about how uninspiring they've been.
Oh,
about the right backs.
The right backs. They've had 3 right backs.
They've
in
had
like
3 backs. Yeah, that's so tapped that they've gone from, I think it was like Joel Ward to Nathaniel Klein
to
Wan-Bissaka to Joel Ward back to Nathaniel Klein, and it's like that epitomises kind of their sustainability, which is good, but also just their lack of oomph and their lack of desire to push on from that mid-table.
For me, though, I think they've got a really solid team.
Team or assets that if Crystal Palace get in a relegation battle and God forbid get relegated, are they just assets that are going to get absolutely yammed?
Oh, 100%. But I think they've also got just general quality though. Like their quality is much better than throughout their team. They're much better than a Sheffield United, than Burnley, than
But now you're talking about relegation.
No, 100%. But
is that where they are?
If your quality is so much better and so even throughout your team,
yeah,
it's gonna see you through the season. Like for me, Crystal Palace won't end up in a relegation battle. But they're in a relegation battle, but they're not going to get relegated.
You're spitting crazy. I think they might be.
But I mean, you look at their team. Yeah, Nathaniel Klein, he's all right. Anderson and Gay is an unbelievable centre back pairing.
Well, yeah,
it's good. It's really good.
It's very good. It's yammable.
Who they got left back at the minute?
They got left back Tyreek Mitchell.
That's it, Tyreek Mitchell. He's all right.
Yammable.
They've got Richards, who plays across the back line.
They've got injuries at the moment. They got what's his name, Czech Decore out injured for the season, which isn't ideal.
He was one of the best centre DMs in the league.
100%. Jordan Ayew, who I know has been around for a long time and kind of gets unduly slated, but he is just consistent, and he's out injured at the moment.
He's not pulling up trees, but he's doing bits and pieces.
Yeah, so Alton Edouard's out injured, so they have injuries.
So they obviously lost Zaha, which is massive, but for me, I'm looking at their situation. I'm looking at teams who are in worse situations, and it's probably just to balance the books. You can't sustainably keep a player like that who's getting sought after.
Fact.
So they've lost him. They've been without Elise for pretty much all this season. He's come back and he got injured again. They lost Eze for a good bit of the season as well.
Yeah.
That's your inspiring players. That's
and
the future.
That's the 100 million there.
But if you had a team where you had Klein, Anderson, Gahey, Mitchell, you had Decore, you had Eze, I don't know, they have Schlupp in there. You could probably look to upgrade him. Who's the Lamina? Is it Lamina they got?
Oh no, Lerma. No. Jefferson Lerma.
That's it, Jefferson Lerma.
Player.
They've got him. He's a decent player.
Yep.
So you've got a midfield of Decore, Eze, Lerma, and then you've got Elise on one side. Then up top, again, lack of ability to sign a striker. Christian Benteke was like the last big signing as a striker.
Yeah, that hasn't worked. Mateta and Edouard aren't the one. So what is the problem then? If the squad's not the problem, what is the problem? Is it Roy?
I thought, the problem is they done themselves in the Jimmy here by sticking with Roy Hodgson.
My favourite thing he's done in the last 10 games is get a draw against Man City. Shout out Roy for that one.
But you can't expect it, mate. I love Roy Hodgson to death, and I think he's like a great manager. But he's not going to be doing Pep Guardiola things to your team. Like,
nah, and
he's not going to make you play.
As much as you've got to respect his longevity. I saw a stat that was like he'd had his entire playing career and was 10 years into management the day Arteta was born. Like, what he's like, how is he so old and still managing in the Premier League? I don't want to be like age biased, but there's got to be dons on that team. Like their team, Elise, Eze, they got to be on the pitch looking at Roy and be like,
yeah, but it's got to be like a granddad vibe. Like he's like, you played
well today. I'm proud of you, boy.
Yeah, well done, boys.
I'll just look at him and be like, mate, you're just like 10 years.
I feel what's happened here is there's been they're content to be mediocre. They're the most bog standard Premier League team that there is.
Perennially 12th is what they say.
But we saw a team who I feel like they could easily replicate.
Southampton.
100%.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Come on, I've done it again. Yeah.
Southampton had a very long period of time where they weren't putting up any trees.
Mid-table.
Second time I pulled it out of this podcast.
Yeah, come on.
But they were happy to be mid-table. They were just happy to be there. Every season they were there was always that little bit of risk of getting drawn into a relegation battle, but there was always 5 teams worse than them.
And they had an academy that they'd sell products on for decent money.
I mean, they lost the likes of Mane, they lost the likes of Van Dijk, they lost Danny Ings.
All the Sadio Mane. He's not from the academy.
Start with him.
Oh, is that who? I wasn't listening.
But yeah, they had all these like brilliant players. Cedric Suarez, man.
Callum Chambers.
Graziano Pelle.
Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Phil Walcott.
Gareth Bale.
Jeez. Yeah,
they had. I mean, they went above their means. They started getting these weird managers in. They got rid of Ralph Hasenhüttl. I said that was a mistake at the time.
Proved
Right. They've got Russell Martin in now, who keep 90% of the ball and maybe score a goal if you're lucky.
Apparently, he's on a madness.
They are playing well, but look at the state of their team.
It's so much better than
like what?
Yeah. So,
but yeah, they could easily replicate Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace could easily replicate Southampton, but for me, they need to be a bit more excited. Go out there and get a real good manager. Maybe.
Well, yeah. Let's talk about it.
I'm going to put this out there.
I'll give you the names after, but you give me yours.
Let's fast forward a month.
Okay. Why?
Up north, there's a storm a-brewing. Eddie Howe is on his last legs as the Newcastle manager. Jose is ready for a return to the Premier League. Maybe the twilight return.
You know what's mad? On odds on for Palace next manager, it's one guy I talked about, Stevie Cooper. Second odds is Jose Mourinho to get the Crystal Palace job. But anyway, carry on.
I'm saying the board at Newcastle go, right, it's time for us to go big or go home. I know they've got some financial problems, but that'll all go away, I'm sure, with some Saudi money.
Yeah.
And then Jose takes over at the Toon Army. Eddie Howe's there left scratching his head. Perfect replacement. But is he too big for the Palace job?
Yeah, I think for me, if Eddie ever loses that Newcastle job, he gets the England job pretty much immediately.
Oh, I agree, 100%. But, especially if it lines up with after the Euros.
Yeah, that's true.
Graham Potter's got to be another name on
Graham Potter's my number one. So Stephen Cooper
is
is top odds. Then it's Julian Lopetegui, which I don't hate. I think he had a bad stint at Wolves. And I don't know why.
I think it's very similar.
Yeah, I don't know why the Palace it'd be worse.
Maybe Palace you have less to work with.
Exactly. So I don't know why they think that is a good idea. But I like him as a manager. Graham Potter's odds on in third. I think for me he's my safest pick. I'd go Graham Potter, Prem proven at that level, good at using the youth, which Palace need to consistently do. Get the youth into the team. So I think Graham Potter's my safe pick. My out there pick. This is a bit brazy. Will Still.
I don't know. I think my out there pick is Mark Warburton.
Jeez.
I could actually see they just go from like the most bog standard white English manager for a guy who's an ex-banker. Like,
nah, Ginger Will Still, mate.
Yeah, I get it. I do get it. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to see an inspired choice. I want them to just pull our name out of a hat. I want them to go
like
to
an Iraola.
I want them to go to the depths of like the Colombian Premier League and pull out some crazy guy, just some nutter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Or like just a big old world class veteran like Roma have got De Rossi in now. Just some nut job.
That's just not as good as Mourinho, is it?
Just a nut job. Nah, but it's a club legend. What club legend could Crystal Palace get in?
Andy Johnson.
Jeez. Yeah.
Benteke.
Yeah.
Oh, who's the keeper they had for years? Hennessy. No, not Hennessy.
Wayne Hennessy was there.
What's his name? He literally left like a season or two ago.
Gator.
Yeah.
Vincent Gator.
Yeah, Renate Gator.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like look at their appointments, man.
Yeah.
It's been so lackluster. Vieira into Roy Hodgson is boring, mate.
I didn't hate Vieira as an appointment, to be fair.
No, but it was what they were trying to do. They were trying to go for like a youngish manager with buying young players and sort of like that was the progression. But it was the wrong choices. They made some really good signings in Elise, Eze.
Yeah, the perks are they're tied down on long contracts, so you're going to get bag for them too.
But yeah, if they get rid of Eze, Elise, that's 100 million between them.
You got to reinvest.
Maybe more.
You need to get someone in that is good at directing transfers, kind of building a team, doing a rebuild Maybe even get Hasenhüttl in. Is that mental?
Is that mental?
I don't know. Crystal Palace fans, in the comments, let us know. Who would you get in if Roy... You're going to take him out the back, shoot him in the head. Like an old, loyal dog. You're going to take him out the back.
That's so peak, man.
Tell him you've seen... So what's that?
Oh,
love you, Roy.
So rude, man. This guy is a legend of the game. Roy Hodgson is up there with my favourite ever Premier League managers.
Who's a bigger legend of the game, Roy or me? All right, move.
Roy would skin you in five-a-side.
Not a chance. I've been watching bare YouTube five-a-side videos recently. I want to get back into five-a-side. If you want to play five-a-side with me and Luke, drop us in the comments where you're playing and we'll come up and do some mazza.
Right, moving on to the coast. Bournemouth.
This was potentially a banana skin for Liverpool. No Salah, no Trent. A Bournemouth team that are pulling up trees. Is that what you've been
hilarious? And it's also just incredible. It's like Salah's never ever missed a game for Liverpool, ever. In my recent memory, when's the last time Salah was injured?
Yeah.
Goes to AFCON, plays one game, and it just gets an injury. He's back at Liverpool already.
Do you see? Apparently, I can't remember his name. It's Ahmed something. Egypt's highest ever caps, Donny, was slating Salah and saying if you're the captain of your country, you should never leave the
Mohamed
tournament.
Salah is the biggest Arabic sports star in the world.
How can you leave the tournament? I know Liverpool really want you back to do, but
no, I get it though because they have to beat Cape Verde, who are top of the group to get through. Who've got who scoring absolute screamers every game.
Cape Verde, where Dede's from?
Bebe,
that's the one. Who's Dede?
Dede is the centre back from Brazil.
Dede is that not the Premier League rapper with the mask on?
Oh yeah.
Is that
who's the Premier League? Who's the Brazilian centre back on FIFA with Vasco da Gama?
I don't know.
I'm gonna find out.
Anyway,
off
our rockets.
That's nuts. AFCON has been a bit dry this year. I'm really liking some of the underdog stories. A lot of the bigger teams are losing.
Although I saw who is it? Sadio Mane, Senegal. They're playing some lovely football at the moment. I think they're my favourites to win the tournament if you care what we think about AFCON.
I'm going to find Dede, mate. Hold on.
But what was I saying? Yeah, you can't leave. If you're the country's captain, the country's main man, Arabic's, what did you say, most influential player or some shit?
He's the biggest Arabic sports star.
How can you, even if you got a dodgy groin, leave the tournament? That's poor form.
Look, Dede.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know Dede? You remember Dede, mate?
Jeez, come on. But you can't be leaving the tournament. I know Liverpool are making a title surge.
That's the only Dede I recognise.
This episode's Dede.
Right. Yeah, no, Liverpool are making a surge and making a good claim for title. I saw PGMOL come out. Was it Howard? What's his name?
Howard Webb.
Yeah, that guy. I think he came out and said Liverpool have had two decisions go against them this season that we recognise. Martin Odegaard handball. And the entire of the Spurs game.
The entire team of the Spurs game.
Yeah, again, so with those games, they would be unbeaten in the league and 7 points clear of Manchester City.
Sorry, Liverpool fan tweet. If we go the whole season and the only loss is that Spurs game, they're claiming invincibles.
Just Liverpool would be so Liverpool because they just have the asterisk like when they won the Premier League.
COVID,
yeah, it's nuts. Could have had another VAR decision here. Terrible tackle on Luis Diaz.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one, that one, because I see why it's not given. And the precedent is they've set now is that whenever that happens, they're given a red. So they have to give it a red.
The be-all and end-all of it is if you go studs up into a challenge like that, you run the risk.
Yeah.
If you keep your feet planted, you do not run that risk.
Yeah, but sometimes you're literally just in motion and you can't not. And that probably happens 100 times a game. And players don't go down and it doesn't get picked up on. And it's the ones where the players go down and get picked up on.
But that's
the issue
one. Is the consistency.
Yeah.
If you had a rule that said anytime that happens, that is a red card, then that's it. You can't argue against it.
But then players are going to be shimmying their feet along the floor and never raising a foot ever. And it's where do we stop with that? So it's a mess.
I don't want to talk about VAR.
Nah.
At all. Let's talk about Liverpool.
Let's talk about Darwin Nunez. Because it's a classic Darwin Nunez game. He missed a few sitters,
and then hits the crossbar or something.
Yeah.
And then he just crunches it within the space of about 5 seconds.
Does
misses a sitter, hits the crossbar with the post or something, and then crunches his defender.
Yeah, he's a tap guy, and he's still an uncut diamond and needs to be shined. But there's an absolute player there. He's the first player in the Premier League to hit 10 goals, 10 assists across all competitions.
He is good.
Mate,
we've been big fans of the Darwin Núñez train for...
the chaos.
Since
It's real.
The chaos cauldron that he encapsulates.
Like
he is pure chaos. We love it.
Yeah.
I think his best position is definitely out wide on the left.
Yeah, for me, Jota, I've got that as our next point here. Jota is back, and I'd say maybe even more than Salah. I don't know, that's me probably being a bit hot-headed. I think he's the best finisher Liverpool have got in that front line.
Mate, he's like 5 foot and just gets on his head
so
on everything.
many goals, and where like Darwin Núñez needs about 18 chances to finish a shot, Jota can do it in one.
Is he like the best super sub in Premier League?
Yeah, probably.
Like he's like Chicharito before, but better.
I think,
and he's probably better than Solskjaer.
I think he's better up top through the middle than Gakpo.
Oh mate, 100%.
And for me, he's got to start. And like you said, I think Darwin Núñez has got to play out wide.
The problem is though, he's so good off the bench.
Yeah, that's true.
65th minute, he comes on, and he how many goals has he got off the bench in his Liverpool career? It's got to be like ridiculous.
Is he happy
50.
to be that bench player? Because there's got to be teams sniffing around Jota. He's so good, so good age as well.
He's
24,
understated,
25 years.
he's understated, isn't he?
I'd have him at Arsenal every day.
I feel like Liverpool this season, they're coming clutch. Like, we're seeing it a lot. We've seen it against Fulham in that game where it was just screamers after screamers.
Yeah, Trent.
We're seeing I've not been the biggest supporter, but Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones this season.
Curtis Jones, player, mate.
And they've been really, really good. Like, the numbers aren't always there, but I feel like they've been really good.
This just came to my head. I don't know when we did this, probably about 6 months ago, when we mentioned Mason Mount, and then you said that your brother said that Curtis Jones is better than Mason Mount, and we both laughed at him and were like, that's not even a discussion. Mason Mount is so clear. Do we have to do
mate, you can't. You're betting this all doesn't play.
Do we have to hold our hands up and say maybe Curtis Jones clears Mason Mount now?
Nick, we're sorry.
Sorry, Nick. But
you're correct.
And I agree. I think I've said this for time. I said this about Reece James. Availability is one of the best abilities you can have.
Mate, you're only as good as the games you play, and if you don't play games, you're not very good.
And so Mason Mount, I think there's a player there. Man United, we said there's a good signing for Man United, but we haven't seen him on the pitch at all this season. And Curtis Jones, like you said, where that midfield is being heavily rotated is either Szoboszlai, McAllister, Curtis Jones, Endo. Sometimes Gakpo comes into the midfield. Sometimes Harvey Elliott plays in the midfield. I think Curtis Jones, for me, out of all of that lot, is my first name on the midfield team sheet.
No, I think Szoboszlai's for me.
I mean,
but the thing is, though,
I've seen a lot of memes about Szoboszlai. All he does is walk around, look at the camera, and touch his hair.
Yeah, he's good though.
He's handsome.
They brought in 3 midfielders, 3 pretty high profile midfielders in McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Ryan Gravenberch.
I forgot about him as well.
And they've also brought in Endo, who was a bit of a filler, but he's been good.
I'd say, my top 3 midfielders for Liverpool are Curtis Jones, Endo, and then probably Harvey Elliott. Is that crazy? I don't know. I like it.
You're just trying to be different.
I like it.
Like, what's wrong with you?
I like it. Curtis Jones.
You're so like.
Curtis Jones is so good at kind of that left centre mid role. Hug and touch, like connects well with Darwin Núñez, and Harvey Elliott is so good at that right hand side midfield, so good at linking up with Salah, and then you got Big Endo as the DM, mate. That is a cheeky midfield.
Yeah, it's good. Are Liverpool real title contenders? Well, I mean, it is Monday the 22nd of January, and they sit 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League table.
Yes, and I'm starting to get worried about them. When we did our...
What do you mean your starters get worried about them,
Well,
mate?
no, I've been a Liverpool hater for the longest time, and even when we did our percentages, I said that Aston Villa, to be fair, time changes and time waits for no man. But I said Aston Villa had a higher percentage of winning the Prem than Liverpool. How silly I was. And we were backing Arsenal a lot. Percentages now from Opta, I saw it this morning. Man City, 60%.
It's not that Man City are 5 points behind. Yeah. And they're still on favourites.
Liverpool 39%, and then others is 1%.
I mean,
which is sad for Arsenal.
What is it, Opta? You said?
Yeah, I think so.
What Opta failed to put into their calculations the fact that Arsenal and Manchester City will have their eyes on the Champions League prize, which was a far more demanding competition than that of the Europa League, in my opinion.
Facts.
and Liverpool have bare attackers. We saw what happened to Arsenal attackers. That little break, that 1 week has done them nice because they look fresh.
They do.
They look fresh.
Yeah, 100%. Let's talk about Liverpool's next 2 fixtures. They're 2 big fixtures. One against Chelsea on Wednesday night.
That was the game they kicked off the season with. It was a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, it was a good game.
And Chelsea, we've thought, Chelsea looked good. Very interesting game.
And since then, Chelsea have been so bad, and Liverpool have been pretty good.
Yeah, Chelsea have just been like this, and then they win a game against like Luton. They're like, woo.
Yeah, they're on a decent run of form as well. They had Carabao Cup against Fulham where they weren't that great but got a result. They're just edging out results at the moment, and I think this will be a good kind of tester of where both teams are. I think Liverpool, we know they're good, but can they come out of their next 2 games against Chelsea and Arsenal with 6 points? Because that's title credentials.
I think they're saying Salah may be back for the Arsenal game.
Wallahi, I'm sick of that, Don.
But mate, I'll be more worried about Nunez and Jota.
Jota, yeah.
That's a problem
against us.
That's a problem.
Yeah, the Chelsea again. Chelsea at home, I think Liverpool got to be looking at 3 points there. And then Arsenal at the Emirates, you saw them go there for the FA Cup, win 2-0. They weren't the best team on the day, in my humble opinion. But they got a result there. So the Arsenal game will be interesting. Arsenal need 3 points there.
Yeah, if Arsenal want to really put their claws back in with a chance of grasping that title, they need to.
But it'd be interesting. Liverpool fans, let us know. Chelsea and Arsenal, what are you expecting result-wise? It'd be interesting.
Right. Where we go next?
You tell me, mate. There's 2 other games that we want to talk about. The Sheffield United West Ham, 2-2. Who cares?
Sheffield United, though, doing a little bit under Chris Wilder.
Yeah, they were right this game. Ben Brereton Diaz got a goal on his debut.
I liked how Sky were the entire time just being like, they're playing him out of position on the left. And that is literally where he played his entire time for Blackburn.
Yeah.
And, what do you got, Villarreal?
Although he didn't play for Villarreal at all, really.
No.
But Brentford, Ivan Toney back as well, scored a goal, scored a controversial goal. I've seen people go, oh, he moved the ball a little bit to the right. Where do you stand on that?
The wall can move.
Yeah.
Like the wall's allowed to move. I don't know.
I think it's because he got banned for betting and cheating that everybody's like, oh, he's a big cheater. He's cheated again.
What I don't like is the fact that he's just getting all this praise as if he's like come back, and it's been a very it's not an original thought to have, but he's getting all this like praise from the pundits and everyone.
Mate, he's out here twerking so hard for him
they're acting like the Undertaker coming back or something.
They're twerking when he literally.
In an
interviews, he's like, oh, I want to move to a bigger club. He's done that video of him with that bird on the boat where he's like, fuck Brentford.
Fuck Brentford.
So he's not a nice Don.
Nah, he's definitely
toxic
a mercenary.
Guy. Yeah.
But like you've got people like you've got Brooksy who came back from cancer, and he scored his first goal, and you saw like a little clip on Twitter. That was it.
You got Ericsson who literally died
on the pitch,
and he's come back. He didn't get any of that from Brentford.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's over the top. He done a bad thing. We like I know we talk about it's hypocritical, but he's still done what he done was wrong.
Yeah, it was
so let's
illegal
not pretend
in the eyes of the game.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, let's not pretend that he's some saint. I do like him though, even though he plays for Brentford.
Big player.
Yeah, he's such a good striker. Brentford fans are weird.
He's a massive dickhead, bit of a mercenary, but what a player, what a goal scorer, mate. Whoa.
What a terrible club.
Yeah.
Right, let's. Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, let's end on 2 kind of not talking points from the weekend, but 2 bits of football news.
Around the game, mate.
So, Man United, obviously, Jim Ratcliffe's taken over at Man United. They're on a downward trajectory. Everyone's hoping he'll be the guy to get them back to the top of the league. And his first major appointment as Man United owner is to go across the road to Man City, get their director of football or CEO, I don't know what his actual job title was there, Omar Barada.
Yeah, maybe he's
to the uncultured like me. You might not know who this guy is, but I did a bit of reading. He's obviously the mastermind behind Man City's recent success. But also, if you take a step back from that, he was the guy that masterminded Barcelona's biggest success when they won the treble under Pep. So he has a good track record of doing big things at big clubs.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's just jumping ship before
I think he's 100% a dodgy guy,
League 2 team.
100% a dodgy guy, and wouldn't be surprised if he gets arrested, but Who knows? Man United, they got to be looking at that as a decent appointment.
I mean, Man United have, as much as they've got troubles on the pitch, they've had troubles
upstairs for a long time.
Yeah, upstairs for a long time. The stadium's literally fallen apart. So maybe if you have good infrastructure, it will generate good results on the pitch.
Fact.
Like it's a stable, secure, and positive club will show that on the pitch.
100%.
Like, it's so easy for you just to focus on what's happening on the pitch because that is what you see. But going on behind the scenes, is
it's a big coup.
Yeah.
You're taking one of the biggest assets from your main rivals, bringing him to your club. And I think that's a very smart move.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, let's end it on Ronaldo being a big fat pagan.
He's just a crybaby, isn't he? He's just a big crybaby.
He's just
Tell me what he said was about the Saudi Pro League.
So I don't even know what the award ceremony that they were at was, but he said the Saudi Pro League is more competitive than Ligue 1. I can say that after 1 year spent there. We are better than the French League already.
Didn't they get slapped by PSG or something?
I don't know. But that is just a big fat lie for so many reasons. One being that a bunch of pros that have gone there with Ronaldo, like Henderson, like Benzema, like Milinkovic-Savic, are all looking to return to Europe anyway because they think either the league's not competitive enough, they don't like, I don't know, whatever. But it can't be a more exciting competitive league if all the players that have been there and tasted,
want to go. Mate, you've given. I think El Atifaki wants to give Steven Gerrard like a 7-year contract.
El Atifaki,
I think that says it all when he's just he came to England and failed.
They're averaging below 1,000 supporters, El Atifaki, at their games. And when I think it was Jordan Henderson's first match there, they had just 696 in attendance.
We get more views, and that's saying something.
Honks. So if you want us to come and cover some El Atifaki or any Saudi Pro League games, let us know. We can boost the numbers. Cook the books, mate.
Yeah, but it's mate, it's just waffling it. He's holding on to dear life. Messi decided not to go there. He made a great decision. The Saudi Pro League is a dumpster fire. It honks of what the Chinese Super League tried to be.
Yeah, they've tried to do a quick solution by getting all the mandem in there in like 2 years spending cash. They need to do a bit more of a slow burner approach.
Mate, you've literally come and just taken wash players. I saw Henderson's like he wants to come back and play for like a top 6 Premier League team.
He's at Ajax now.
Are you nuts?
Oh, did you see that?
The highest selling shirt
in their history. Ajax are a wash.
They were going to give him like the number 4, like they were like
Cruyff number.
Yeah, Cruyff number. Yeah. And he's like, no, mate, you can't fucking.
How, as a big club like Ajax, one of the most Champions Leagues in the world,
greatest academy ever. Like,
and you're getting Jordan Henderson as your most highest sold shirt in your history.
Jordan Henderson is such an uninspired signing. If he signed for QPR, I'd genuinely be like...
That hoons. Oh, that reminds me though, we did an Ajax video about a year ago now, so go check that out.
Yeah, that was good.
Come on.
But yeah, I don't know, Saudi Pro League is... It's dry. It's dry. Like, they bought in all these big name players. You're thinking, you've got like... Benzema, Mane. Mane's not wanting to leave because he's a weird guy, 16-year-old girlfriend or whatever. That's
we can't be back in that one, mate.
Weird,
Talking of weird guys, Nuno Tavares.
Oh, mate,
don't get off with your dog. That's not a good thing.
It's just wrong, mate. That's such an Arsenal thing.
Yeah, we had to do it with Sanchez, but that was like he never got videoed of him getting off with his dog. But everyone was like, "Oh, you're a bit weird with your dogs." Now we've got Upgrade, and the dude's actually getting off with his dog.
Then you had the Saliba incident.
Oh, come on. Saliba can do what you want, mate. Best centre back in the world.
Yeah, he's... I don't know, man. Some weird stuff going on at Arsenal.
If Messi or Ronaldo got videoed getting with their dog, would it be swept under the rug because they're so good?
No.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to do.
Messi autistic.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to do, isn't it?
That's like the thing on the internet. It's just to call Messi autistic.
That video of him where...
Like, you can't just accept he's the greatest sports player. Yeah, he might be...
Some of the videos are jokes, though.
Yeah, he is... Yeah, I don't know.
Like, the video I saw where he was at PSG and David Beckham went to the training ground and David Beckham's, like, dapping up Mbappe and Messi's just in the background just looking at the floor. It's so funny.
Just, like, looking at his feet. He's
just
just trying to count all the goals he's scored.
Mate, isn't that easy? He can do what he wants.
What a geezer. If you want to come on the pod, let us know. We'll get you on. I'm sure we can fit it in.
Come on. Yeah, shout out for 10k. I know we said that that last time. We've got a giveaway still going on.
Shout out to Monday Sportif as well.
Yeah, shout out for shouting us out. Yeah. We'll shout you back out.
Go check out their newsletter. They send out a newsletter every now and then. It's absolutely packed with just brilliant football analysis, talk about topics. It's brilliant. Go check it out. But yeah, got a big giveaway going on.
Yeah, comment on any video what you'd spend 100 Great British pounds.
Great British pounds.
We've got a classic football voucher and we're giving it away. What would you spend £100 on?
Which shirt would you get? You can comment on this video, comment on any other video. We're going to be going through all our comments history, exporting it into a big Excel sheet. It sounds wonderful, doesn't it? And we're going to be picking our favourite comments. So you can comment as many times as you want. Just get involved, mate.
Get involved on all our socials. TikTok's bussing, Twitter's bussing, Instagram not so much. So follow us on Insta.
It's all good stuff. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. It's been BoreDraw, episode number 81, and it's live.